Roadster. And on the left, you see a photograph of the Cadillac taken right out in the back here. And on the right, a picture from around 1927 of Grace outside a DC hot shop, which then became the Marriott Corporation. She was out for a ride, and this particular one was where it was a barbecue pit, so she maybe had run it. She probably enjoyed barbecue. Just a quick look at the other Totten house. Not only did Everett commission this house from Totten, but he also commissioned a summer estate in Washington, in Bennington, which is now Southern Vermont College. You go to the next slide. And then this is the Everett Mausoleum. I think he built this in 1910 before anyone had died. He was planning for the future. And I think it gives you some sense of what he thought about himself and the longevity of his memory. And from the front lawn of this mausoleum, it's quite a large piece of property that goes with the mausoleum. There's nothing else near it. You can look directly across the valley and see the mansion. Vevey, Switzerland. It was said that he owned a chateau. Well, fortunately, the Swiss are very compulsive about keeping records, and they kept track of every visit. He only visited 4 times, and he only rented a floor of the chateau. He did not own it. And the book provides a picture, a very rare daguerreotype, colored daguerreotype of the chateau in 1850, and then the registration cards that he filled out when he arrived, telling about his plans for the year, so we were able to get. So what's the new reinterpretation of Mr. Everett? He was partially successful. He made good and bad investments, and we'll get into the details of that. He did not invent the crimped metal bottle cap, although he benefited enormously from it.
You shouldn't do this publicly.
He made a lot of money selling bottles and you see, he invented a machine that made a perfectly cylindrical inside stem, which was required for a vacuum seal. So he was sort of in partnership, but the inventor of the metal bottle cap and Mr. Everett didn't work together, but they benefited from each other. He was the renter of the chateau. He did not meet Totten in Istanbul. He was in the United States when Totten was in Istanbul, so they couldn't have met. He built both of the houses, and he did live larger than life. He had a very healthy ego, but he faced a lot of personal and family anguish, which I go into in quite a bit of detail in the book. So you're going to get a very important picture of him as a human being, in addition to being an industrialist and capitalist. And finally, the lady herself, Mrs. Everett, Grace Bernath Everett, Lisa's grandmother. I just love this picture of her. Lisa, you took it in Switzerland when you were traveling with your grandmother in the 1960s. And she was a gutsy lady. I will point out that from the mid-40s until the mid-60s, she actually was involved in the day-to-day management of her husband's company. And the Everett family has the telegrams that went back and forth. She was a very shrewd businesswoman if you read those telegrams. So that's my presentation. If we can see the next one, I want to say Gunundan Teşekkür to the embassy, to the university, and special thanks to Ellen Clark, Peter Penzer, and Peter Waddell. Well known. Thank you very much.